Welcome back. This is the second episode of our show, so thank you for coming back. This is Digital Decode, where we decode the digital landscape of all things media. Now, let's move forward into decoding our next topic, agency versus the platform versus the publisher. So this is an exciting topic for me because a lot of my experience comes from the agency side, and this information will be extremely helpful for entrepreneurs. The content that we will be discussing will help guide you towards the direction of how you want your business to go. So, John, what's your experience off the top of your head between the agency, publisher, and platform?
Definitely, no. So, working in the platform space specifically, as Chris just said, he works in the agency space. So for those who don't know yet, I work in the platform space. We'll get into exactly what those are in a little bit more detail in a second, but it's definitely something that is difficult to understand from the outside. And a lot of times the entrepreneur, i.e. the client, in all these cases, really needs a good understanding of those and how to use them in order to have them work together effectively.
Yep. Those are good initial thoughts. So let's just get right into it. Jumping into it, the agency acts as the middleman between the publisher and the platform. Think of the agency as the middle child. The agency holds a huge place between the platform and publisher because the agency acts as a subject matter experts for all things within the media landscape, whereas the platforms are experts of their own specific products and goods. There are various media agencies with specific fields of expertise as it relates to their clients' core objectives. For example, there are full-service agencies like Mediacom, PhD, and Horizon. Then there are performance-based marketing agencies like Ford, PMX. All these are great agencies to know by. I actually started my career off at UWG, which is now Uniworld Group, and that's a multicultural agency where they take the strategies they take their client strategies, but they hone in onto the multicultural capabilities, such as reaching Black women or reaching a specific audience that is not considered the general market.
Definitely, and I also interned at least at a multicultural agency that focused on entertainment and music, which is also another thing that you might see, is that there are agencies that specialize in certain types of clients.
Yeah, really good. What was your experience working at the agency though? Like, how was that?
I think it was good. It was definitely eye-opening and intriguing. I loved the whole multicultural agency aspect of it because it required us to find a new perspective that kind of made us not subject matter experts just for being Black and brown, but subject matter experts in something that was also something that interested us and affected our daily lives. So I thought that was really cool.
I don't know. In other words, agencies do it all. They pretty much do everything for their clients at a lower cost compared to the platforms and publishers. This is because agencies understand the ins and outs of media, where they are considered as value consultants for their clients in a way that's authentic, transparent, and not biased. Clients typically know nothing about media, so they rely on agencies to help steer their marketing strategies. Although clients are more receptive to hire an agency for their marketing strategies, there are a few pain points on the agency side, such as data and transparency. Organization is another one, and also just being the middleman as an agency. A lot of the pain points too is that small business owners can't typically afford agencies, and that is because their minimum costs are very expensive, where a small business just can't afford it right now.
Right, and they vary dramatically from flat fees to percentages of spend, which can also be very frustrating as an entrepreneur because you're saying you're taking a percentage of whatever I'm investing in marketing, but am I getting that back in what I spent?
And to your point too, there's also ad tech fees as well, such as DCM. Or is it called GCM now?
It's called Display and Video 360.
Got it. Explain to the people what that actually means.
So that is a programmatic platform, but essentially what programmatic means is automated ad buying on websites that are outside of the normal platforms, which we'll talk about. And it's really just about buying like premium display and video space on extremely popular websites for your target demographic.
So that sounds like a topic of discussion for our next time. We'll get into ad tech fees at a later time. But as we go back onto our discussion, we'll go into publishers. Publishers are necessary because they are able to offer their clients to be seen on premium inventory. This is where transparency comes into play. Why have your ads be seen on schoolfinder.com when they can be seen on Sports Illustrated or Essence or even Time Inc.? That's going to be from the publisher side. Of course, there are many caveats to my above statement, but I'm speaking at a high level so that you get the point. Most publishers will typically offer or pitch their clients a package so that they run on all their inventory throughout their entire network. For example, BET will sell their clients a package where they run on their commercial spots, or they'll run on their streaming service such as BET Plus, their homepage takeovers on their sites, or etc. As you know, BET has many digital properties. So when they are selling you their inventory, you're going to be served on all their digital properties that they own. Another example will be Blavity. As you may know, they have many different companies that's under their umbrella. So you will also, not only will your ads be seen on Blavity, but they'll also be seen on Afrotech, Travel Noir, or even 2190.
Absolutely, for sure. So I've had a few advertisers that I've worked with in the past work with Blavity specifically, as well as different publishers like Spotify and bigger ones like Time Inc., for example. And I think it was really beneficial from the Blavity perspective, even though it was smaller, of course, than a Time or Spotify, that it had such a important niche market, and then within that own niche, Blavity had its sub-niche markets. So it's not just saying, oh, this is some monolithic publisher that says we are for black people. It's like we have 2190, which is for like black women, and then we have like Travel Noir, which is for travel enthusiasts, and then we have Afrotech, which is for tech enthusiasts. So it was extremely good at really honing and narrowing it down, and that can be really beneficial when an advertiser, a client, an entrepreneur can find a specific website and publisher that already has that built-in fan base.
Yeah, publishers are really great with having that type of data so that they can reach that specific audience. And as you might know, publishers have more data transparency capabilities. They are able to confidently determine their audience just by their reach, because all their data is housed in one data place. Whereas with the middleman agency, their data is cleansed through multiple layers, so it's not necessarily as transparent. Some of the challenges with publishers is that they are sellers. So some people think of publishers as car salesmen from the 80s. They also are becoming extinct because it's more of a traditional way of buying. As John mentioned earlier, programmatic is an automated type of buying. So a lot of agencies or clients are typically buying media through those verticals, because publishers is more of a silo strategy unless you're buying from a huge network such as Oath or Viacom. Hence what I mentioned earlier, that you're going to run on multiple digital platforms. So don't think that you're just going to be running on BET. So that concludes our topic about the differences between the agency and the publisher. John, you want to go into the platforms?
Absolutely. So last but not least, we have platforms. Platforms are the systems that are used to create and distribute digital content. In other words, they hold the content that you create and promote it, hence the name platform. And with platforms, there are a lot of important things that go along with them. A lot of benefits, a lot of takeaways, a lot of negatives, but the most important of those is reach. Yeah. Reach is the number one benefit of a platform. And reach, to go into detail of its definition, reach is the number of potential customers you have access to. Think of this as an army of people that you can access by paying to use this platform. And the bigger the reach, the more likely that someone within that group will act on the content that they encounter and take action, such as a purchase or a referral or a like or subscribe or whatever it may be that you're looking for. Another major strength of platforms is that they are known for their very specific granular targeting. And this comes from the fact that they have access to a lot of data that you won't normally see. We'll get into those in a second, but particularly the Facebooks and Googles of the world have so much access to so much information that the way they're able to target people is like none other. Because reaching everyone is great, but reaching the people who actually have the real potential to buy from you is even better. For example, in 2019, Essence, the host of the New Orleans Essence Music Festival, one of the largest conferences for Black women, used customized ad targeting for those not only interested in the festival, but also interested in the music artists that were performing. So, for example, that year that Beyonce performed, there were fans of Beyonce targeted in those ads so that when those ads were shown, those fans saw that she was performing and wanted to buy tickets, if not for the rest of the festival, just to see her.
Okay, question. Was that Beyonce at the Essence Festival or was that somebody, another artist? Because we don't want to get like people like saying Beyonce was never at Essence Festival. Was she ever? No, I thought it was. Did she ever? Let's do our Google.
Mary J. Blige and Missy Elliott hosted, so they were able to target Mary J. Blige and Missy Elliott fans and get them to show interest in the festival, not just because of what was already happening at the festival, but because their favorite artists were there performing. And so this actually led to thousands of extra ticket sales off of Facebook and Instagram alone, and a 7 times return on their investment, showing that when selling to a unique and underrepresented group, targeting can be even more important for staying in the black and staying financially profitable.
Exactly. And to your point, John, it's very important that we understand the benefits of targeting. For example, there was a time where I was served an ad. I think it was from ASOS. It was an ASOS ad.
Mm-hmm.
And that ad, and I was looking at their clothes, and then like a few days later, I was served that same exact ad. Like the clothes that I was looking at was what popped up in my popped up in an ad on my right side of my browser, and that's basically type of retargeting. So all these ads that were discussed, all these data, the importance of data is very important because you need to understand that the targeting that you are seeing and being exposed to is going to retarget you. So it's going to drive you down the purchasing funnel. Mm-hmm. So a lot of advertisers are investing a lot of money into digital ads because of that type of consumer journey.
Exactly. And even outside of retargeting, they're looking at what websites you're just casually visiting in your regular life. And that's what we call in marketing an affinity group, which means not only are you just interested in buying this thing, but this is just something that you have a natural hobby or interest in, whether that be music or fashion or tech or whatever it is. You're in that audience for an extended period of time because they know that, hey, you might not need a new laptop today, but you're the type of guy that's going to buy a nice, expensive $2,000 MacBook when you are ready to buy another one.
So when people say that the internet is watching, the internet is always watching.
Right, it is watching. Not listening the way people think, but it's definitely watching.
All the time.
So to get into those platforms, specifically, there are hundreds out there, and trying to learn all of them would be impossible. But we're going to focus on what we like to call the Big 6. Caveat, keep in mind we will only go through these in surface level today, but we will have much more detailed episodes on these in the very near future. So, starting off with the first platform on the social space is Facebook marketing. Facebook marketing is the company's platform for the creation of company pages, paid advertising, as well as paid Instagram ads and integrations, as Instagram is a subsidiary of Facebook. Many people refer to Facebook as the most essential player when it comes to social, and it holds not only the number 2, but also the number 1 spot in platforms, social media platforms with Facebook and Instagram in terms of usage.
It's very important that we understand that the power behind Facebook, because not only do they own Instagram, but they also own WhatsApp, and that's also a huge opportunity for advertisers or for businesses who have a international objective, or if they want to reach people from a travel perspective. Because WhatsApp is typically used for people who typically travel outside of the country, but they want to communicate to people. So the fact that Facebook owns that property, you're able to use that platform and to target those specific people.
Absolutely, and it's crazy to think about, and hopefully this doesn't creep anyone out, but it's like, I feel like advertisers for years have wanted to figure out a way to get into your text messages, and WhatsApp has done that with Facebook. It has, in a lot of places, it's used almost in replacement of text messaging, and so now you can advertise through people's text messages and engage with them is crazy to think about, and definitely something that you should consider investing in the future. So next up is Google. Google is a subsidiary for its advertising platform.
Here's what I found on the web.
Damn it.
Next up is Google Ads, also known as AdWords for the OGs out there, and it covers all paid advertising for Google's platforms. That includes YouTube, Google Search, Display, Gmail, and a myriad of others. Google has 6 different apps that have over 1 billion users on them. And that shows a huge strength when it comes to Google's data. But the biggest strength for Google specifically is in its intent-based marketing, because it has that access through search to be able to know exactly what people are searching for and exactly why they are looking for it. On the awareness end, it has the power of YouTube and display. But it can also be known, and this is an interesting fact that a lot of people don't know, is that the second largest search engine out there is actually YouTube. And so it's used frequently for how-to videos or videos to inform people about things that they're not aware of, just in video form. So with that, you have a huge access to a huge intent base.
Wow. That's really big. So what are some other ones on a social space? Or like, what would you consider would be the next?
Definitely.
platform?
So the next big two we'll talk about together, although they are 2 separate platforms, and that is Twitter and Snapchat. Twitter and Snapchat are both social media rivals to Facebook and Instagram and have their own marketing platforms. Twitter's, which is Twitter for Business, and Snap's, which is Snap Ads. These are both unique in that they have a unique setup that really allows them for more direct and personalized engagement with its users than Instagram or Facebook have, because of their very unique styles of social engagement. Snapchat, with its very direct messaging of much smaller groups of friends, which Instagram has tried to replicate with close friends, but I don't think it's quite there yet. And Twitter, with its short spurts of specific engagement and discussion and conversation. Snapchat also boasts having an extreme strength in the Gen Z market. It has 90% people of those aged 13 to 24 on its platform. No other platform, including Instagram or Facebook, can say that.
And it's a good point that you say that these platforms are unique, because I think that's what we're trying to hit on the most, is that all these platforms that John is mentioning are all unique and different in their own ways. For example, Facebook is more used as a lifestyle platform.
Mm-hmm.
Same with Snapchat, and Twitter is more used for like a information sharing. So when you see like a breaking news headline, you're going to typically see that on Twitter, and then that's going to be streamlined through all the other social platforms. But typically, Twitter is one of the first ones. Is a platform that typically is where you're going to get your news from. Same with Instagram as well. It's still lifestyle focused, but you're going to get your breaking news from those type of platforms.
So, lastly, we have our specialty platforms. These are growing tremendously. Some of them are already huge, and both of them are probably names that you know. But they may not be for your business, depending on how it operates. So, first off, we're going to jump into Amazon. Amazon, obviously, if you didn't already know, which if you don't, I'm worried about you, is one of the world's largest retailer and is the world's largest online retailer in the world. It boasts having over 2 billion users a month to its website, Amazon.com. That is really hard to compete with. The only ones in that same realm are websites like Facebook.com and Google.com. And it has a unique and efficient way of getting customers, those that go on its website, to buy its products through its Amazon Prime purchasing platform, which makes it very seamless and easy to do, which is why it is an essential platform for a lot of e-commerce businesses.
Mm-hmm. And you brought up a good point. It goes back to all of it. For Amazon, it really goes back to the data. They know who this audience, they know how, a lot of people are going to Amazon to purchase, so that's a lot of data that's coming into Amazon that they can able to repurpose and retarget people from that.
Absolutely, for sure. So, finally, we have LinkedIn Marketing. LinkedIn Marketing is a subsidiary of Microsoft, which we know is a huge and powerful tech company that has been around longer than a lot of them were even thought of. And with that comes a lot of money and a lot of data. LinkedIn is quickly, if not already, becoming the #1 platform for business-to-business sales. And that's because it gives you the unique ability, like I said before, to target customers who have not only their specific role available, but also the specific company they work at, ensuring that you always are targeting the right decision maker for whatever it is that you need.
Mm-hmm. LinkedIn is also great for jobs too. So if you want to reach, like for example, if you want to work at Coca-Cola, and you can easily find a Coca-Cola recruiter, send them an email message, and they will let you know if you qualify or if you don't qualify for the role, or how you guys can work together for you to land that job within the Coca-Cola network. So it's really great for not only one, networking, but two, helping build your career as well.
Absolutely, and a lot of those businesses actually pay LinkedIn to advertise the jobs that they're looking for on there. And so it's a way not only to market to business sales, but also to market for potential employees. So with that, that is our list of the big 6 for today. Again, we want to let you know that this list is in no way all inclusive. In fact, it probably mentions a lot less than more, but we really feel like these are the most important ones for you to know as an entrepreneur and a great introduction to platforms as a whole. So, in closing, we want to remind you that every agency, platform, and publisher is not right for every business. But with a little bit of testing, a little bit of knowledge, and a little bit of education, you can find the one that works best for you. So, with that, please continue to comment, like, and subscribe down below, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Deuces.